or any religion that you believe, you follow, you should feel that every religion talks about service. And
Yeah.
one of the projects that really inspired me was when I had the opportunity to go and work with Mother Teresa for 3.5 weeks. We'd always like, there'd be one day 18 would turn up, another day 17 would turn up, another day one person would go missing, another day 19 would turn up, never 20, the full house, never turn. The day that we had 20 turn up, Swami called us in. Prema mudita manasaka ho Ram 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 Sri Ram Ram Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Our guest today is Shobhana Patel, who has played a remarkable role in the UK Sathya Sai organization. She was the second female chair of the organization and notably the first female trustee and treasurer of the UK Trust. Shobhana has been blessed to know Bhagwan for over 30 years. Professionally, she is in a leadership role in a bank, balancing both her career and her seva with dedication. What stands out most about Shobhana is a deep service orientation and her commitment to encouraging women in leadership roles within the organization, something truly inspiring and much needed. I hope you find this podcast as uplifting and inspiring as her journey. Let's welcome Shobhana. Sairam Shobhana, it's wonderful to have you here. Welcome to our podcast, Reflections.
Siram Sujata, thank you for inviting me to this. It's been a long time since I've caught up with you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so looking forward to it. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And so first, we'll always like to start with, how did you come into Swami's fold? How did you pull? I'd rather like rephrase it and say, how did Swami pull you into this fold, in his family?
Okay, so I think I've known a Swami many years ago now, and it's come through one of my distant relatives' families in the north of England, in Bolton. So we used to go and visit them on a regular basis, and
Cases. Okay.
they'd beside devotees. So every weekend, any weekends that we'd go and see them, we'd be out during the
Yeah.
day, maybe go to the beach in Blackpool, but by 5 o'clock you had to be home. All had
Oh,
to be home, and they'd all get changed into their white clothes, and you used to wonder why we're having to get changed in white clothes, and we'd have to go to a hall for bhajans. So at first I didn't enjoy it because I'm thinking, what is this? Why are they singing this? And then they do meditation at the end where the lights would go off, they'll set the timer on, the alarm clock would go off, and we'd wonder why are we doing this? Eventually we got to find other devotees in London, and through service, I got involved. So I think in those days, maybe about 30 years ago, we used to have more homes for the elderly, more homes for the physically challenged as well. So we had the opportunity to go and visit them, go and do programs, do some cleaning. So that's how I first got involved in going to do more service activities rather than going through the spiritual side or
yeah.
singing bhajans. I'm not a very good singer, as some of the youth will tell you. Um, and also, so through that, we found another centre which was held weekly house bhajans near us. So every week we used to go to the house bhajans. It was brilliant, really enjoyed it. And they eventually found a venue near to the location in East London where a new community hall had been built, including a church.
Oh,
And that's where Manor Park Sai Centre was founded.
Manapa. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So
Wow.
that's where we started going, and that's where I started attending the centre. So that was good because that was brilliant. Every week we'd attend, we'd start having activities. And the elders asked me there if I could take on the role of being the centre youth coordinator and
Okay.
encourage the youth and get involved. And that's how I started in
Yeah.
getting involved
Get
in more of
involved.
the activities.
Yeah, and you've never stopped, right? Yeah. And that's really good. Actually, that's how Swami pulls us, right? Like through
Yes,
whatever works for us. Some people bhajan, some
exactly.
people active service activities, and because you were young adult as well, so I think yeah. And
exactly.
I have to share this with the viewers as well that I've been always been awe of you. You've never known me, but I've been in awe of you when you became national
Oh,
coordinator. But we'll talk about it later.
oh
So thank you.
gosh,
So I'm really looking forward for this
thank
conversation.
you.
I've been waiting for this. Um, so you said you started with the young adult coordinator in Manor Parks Center. So how did that journey continue? How many more roles did you take over in Sai
Wow.
organization?
Okay, so from there, I took on, as I said, the Centre Youth Coordinator,
Yeah.
which was good. It was fun. It was good to see so many youth within the centre as well. We got actively involved in the region as well, because there was a National Youth Coordinating Committee as well, and there were national youth activities. And from there, I was asked to be the Regional Youth Coordinator for Region 3.
Mm,
So I got involved with the regional activities across the Region 3. Then from there, I was asked to be the National Youth Coordinator
mhm.
for the National Youth Coordinating Committee. So that was across the country. So
Yeah.
that endured more travel up and
Mm,
down. I'm not sure how I managed it when I look back at it now to think, how did I manage all that travel and all the mileage driving up and down the weekends with no fatigue,
yeah.
always willing to do anything that came up that Swami wanted us to do. From being the National Youth Coordinator, I became the National Secretary on the UK Central Council.
Mm, yeah.
So that was good. So that was interesting because you got involved in a lot of projects as well. So that also learned the skills about project management within the SAI organization. So
Yes.
that was a good challenge about knowing how that you have to have a zero balance strategy,
Mm,
ensuring that
mm,
everything that we provide for devotees is of a zero balance. We do not charge them.
mm.
So that was quite good. And from there, I became the national president.
Yes.
So that was good. I'd say that was interesting.
Yeah.
That was not challenging, but I think Swami was always there. Swami always sort of guided me on that.
Yeah.
Um, and from being the national chair,
Yeah.
I became a trustee on the UK Central Trust
Yeah.
and also treasurer. So those are the
Ah,
roles that I held over the years up
that's really, really
until, yes,
responsible roles, very serious roles as well, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
they were. So Swami, I was very fortunate that Swami had given me the opportunity to take on these roles within the organization
Yes.
across the width of the organization itself. So those actual roles did actually give me opportunities also to speak in Prashanti at national service
Mm.
conferences,
Wow.
October's conference at regional level, when we was at zonal level. So those were
So you
quite
spoke in
fun.
front, you spoke in the presence of Swami?
Not in what in front, well, in the spiritual form,
Spiritual
Swami,
form.
but when we used to have the national conferences, we'd have the big tents that
Yeah, okay,
were
yes,
put up.
yes, yeah, yeah. But
So we'd
that
have the
Swami,
whole,
yeah, yeah, exactly. Wow, yeah.
yes,
And in those days, I mean, I had a conversation with Shituba some time back, but he was saying that at that point, Swami used to, up, appoint a UK president. So you were very fortunate ones who were actually probably one of the people who were appointed as UK national president. So that's really
yes.
beautiful, and again, I don't know whether you remember or not, but I do remember when you were national president, you had organized such a beautiful event for Mahilas, Mahila Wing, a sit down, a conference, treated us, in the absolutely five-star level. So so many discussions, real-time discussions on real-time problems. I think that is something I really remember from your tenure. That
Wow,
was
thank you. I think that was many years ago now, but I know it's
And
quite
you were
an
one of the,
event.
yeah, and you were a young adult who was also a national president. That stuck with me actually. That thing really
Yes,
stuck with me.
thank you. I
And
think
yeah,
we had the support of the central coordinator, the zonal
yes,
chair,
yes.
which is very good.
And to organize an event pre-Zoom, pre-WhatsApp, it's not
Yes.
easy across the country, right?
Yes, correct. I think we just about on emails. You also need the support of others, and I was very fortunate that I had a
Yeah,
very good support of a youth wing as well from Manor Park as well.
yeah.
And I used to nickname her my chief of staff because she'd do a lot of work for me in the background for me as
Wow.
well. So you needed a team
Team,
with you
yeah.
which I'm sure they still do now.
Yeah,
Irrespective of
absolutely.
having modern technology, you still need a strong team
Strong team. Yeah.
around you as well.
Committed, strong team.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah.
definitely.
You've always you first got attracted in this organization through service, right? So
Yes.
obviously it meant a lot to you. So can you describe a service project that you felt that it transformed you? It's the purpose is to be closer to Swami in some way, right? Anything that
Yes.
we choose, any path we choose.
Correct. Or any religion that you believe, you follow, you should feel that every religion talks about service. And
Yeah,
one of the projects that really inspired me was when I had the opportunity to go and work with Mother Teresa for 3.5 weeks
yeah.
in Calcutta.
Okay.
Yes, so that was absolutely amazing. That was in the early years of when I'd actually come into the Sai fold. So I had
Oh,
the
okay.
opportunity to go to Calcutta and spend 3.5 weeks, because that was the only time I could get off from work.
Yeah,
So we went with a group of people. We went to Calcutta, stayed there. We went to the leprotorium, went to the orphanage,
yeah.
went to service the children at the Howrah Bridge on Sundays. It was
Oh,
fantastic. And you saw so many people that come across from the world,
mm.
irrespective of religion, to come and do some service.
And it's
It,
absolutely selfless to the
yes.
core. That yeah, absolutely. That oh my God, that's so beautiful. Yeah,
Yes, and we had the opportunity of meeting Mother as well.
yeah,
So that was the best thing. And I think you'd always want to go to morning mass, which
yeah,
was around 5:30 a.m. And you can imagine in those days, in about 1995, there was no sound system.
yeah.
It was very hot in Calcutta, so the windows would be open, and you can imagine what the traffic is like in India. So when you're waiting for mass is being taken place,
Mm,
but Mother would still be there, and you'd just be in awe of her. I mean,
yeah,
when we worked out there, we'd work in the morning because we found it very tiring to try and do a whole day. Yet
mm,
Mother would be out all day picking up children that had been left in the gutter,
mm.
going to feed the homeless. And she was 87 at the time, and she'd be
Wow.
out. You'd see her
Mm.
walking down the road with her little bag on her shoulder, but she'd
Oh my
continue
God.
with the work. You never see her stop. She had so much energy. Absolutely amazing. And that what inspired me to think that, there is more to life and there is more to work than just thinking about yourself, and think about those that are less fortunate than
Yeah.
yourselves, even if we can just do a little thing just to make them happy. So
And
that was the
makes
most
you
inspiring.
and it also makes you appreciate what you have, right? Like what we have.
Exactly. Yes, you do. And you remember those times and you go back to think of those times as
Yeah,
well. So that
yeah.
does remind you of
Mm.
those things.
And how did like every spirit every role that you do the purpose is yes you serve Swami, but you also grow spiritually, right? So how did you grow spiritually when you as a national president, UK national
As
president?
national president, I would say I think every task that you may do, or sometimes there'll be things that would be challenging. You'd
Mm,
have to step back and think, what would you do, or what would Swami want you to do? How would you do it? I would look to some of my elders,
mm,
former trustees like Uncle Puri, the late Uncle Kundra. I would maybe speak to them to ask them, and they would say, well, what would Swami want you to
mm,
do? What would Swami say? So it always reverted back to remind you of Swami and
mm,
thinking about what is it that he would want, and you would get that message and you would get the right answer. There'd be times when you would always have a challenge. I don't think there's ever been any national presidents, I'm sure, unless they have a
mm,
smooth ride all the
mm,
way through. There's always a challenge. And I think Swami puts us there for
mm,
our own growth, to see how do we live up to those challenges. And there was one occasion where I had, when I'd become president as well, and there have been some challenges going on in the background with a few individuals. And the night before the conference, they had sent out a very stinging email, which I hadn't seen because I was at the venue just arranging everything. Yet everybody else on the council had seen it. I hadn't seen it. It was aimed at me as a personal attack, which I wasn't bothered. I was not aware of it. And the next morning we came back to the hall ready for the program. People come up to me and said, "Oh, don't worry about the email. I don't think, just ignore it." And I'm thinking, what email? Then, as I say, my chief of staff, she'd printed it off and brought it when there's been an email last night. I think you'd better just have a quick look at it.
yeah.
So I quickly looked at it and I thought, okay,
Mm,
there's nothing I can do.
mm.
And just carry, even though it's just niggling at the back of my mind,
Yeah, yeah.
thinking, why have they done it now? It was you've got 500 people sitting in the audience, and you've got, quite a handful of people that they sent this email to.
Mm,
It sort of niggled in the back of my mind about it, but I just carried on. And then I went back into the hall. We had a guest speaker, Dr. Judo from
okay.
Thailand.
Okay.
And one of the things that he said as I walked back in the hall, and he said about how Swami always tests us.
Mm,
No matter, he goes, just make sure, let people criticize you. No matter how much they criticize you, the better. Let them say what they want. Let them continue. The more criticism you get, the
mm.
better it is for you, the better for you to grow. So for me, that was a message, like from
Yeah,
Swami, to say, don't worry about the
yeah.
email. This is this is all part and parcel of the
Parcel.
parcel.
Yes. Oh, wow.
So
Such a beautiful, timely message from Swami, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah,
it is.
absolutely. Wow.
It is.
Because it really can make you really low if you get something like this. It's
Yes.
very
If you
easy
get
to,
impacted, you got to move. You just got
easy.
to not be feel about it and not
Yeah,
dwell on things like that.
yeah.
You just got to keep moving. You got to
Yes,
think about Swami, and
yes,
then
yes,
doesn't infect you.
yes. Oh, wow. That's a beautiful message. And I'd say Swami came to your help you and grow,
Yes.
like, right? Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. We I always say I'm still grieving after Swami's left. I've never gotten over it. It's okay. So, what do you miss about Swami not being physically present?
Physically, I would say, what do I miss about it? When What do I miss about his physical presence? I think when you go to party, and I try to go to party at least once a year, you still feel him there.
Mm,
There's no difference. You still feel Swami is there and Swami is everywhere.
mm,
You'll feel him wherever you are. But like for me, I don't think, I think it's just seeing the form.
uh,
It's just seeing, I think that's the only thing I think maybe that I miss. And I think I miss the fact that maybe people have like felt that they can't come to party because
mm,
they seem to be following other avenues where they think that Swami is there. And that's what I think it's a
mm.
shame that
It's
people have sort of felt that. But I don't think there is anything different or anything that I can miss about Swami because Swami is always with us. And I
yeah.
always feel it. And there's one example I would say for me that I think just before COVID, 2019, I was in Berkeley and it's November time. And it's funny because when I was leaving, it felt like, oh, it's the last day, it's a final time I'm coming to Berkeley. I don't know why that thought came in to feel like this is the final time I'm coming to Berkeley. And like my brother has a room there. It's a very basic room, but I always had like leave stuff in the kitchen. And that year I'd taken like dust sheets, like you have these like decorators put so you can cover things up. So in the kitchen, I had put dust sheets everywhere, taped it around the walls. So I thought when I go back in a few months' time, it'd be less cleaning to do.
Mm,
But I put it all round, covered the whole kitchen with these dust sheets. So very flimsy, but very,
mm.
to cover everything round. And then 2020, COVID happened.
Yes.
So we couldn't go back. So I think I went about 2022. And I'm thinking, wow, what's it going to be like in the room? What's it going to be?
Hmm.
Arrived at party, nothing had changed.
Yeah.
Everything was just, as they say, business as usual.
Business as usual.
Everything felt the same. And I've gone into my room and I thought, oh gosh, what's it going to be like in that
Yeah. Yeah.
kitchen? Because it's been how many years? So I've unlocked the padlock, pushed the door because I thought I'm not sure what other creatures are going to come out, thinking what's going to come out. And it was exactly the same as 2019. No
Oh, wow.
dust, nothing, everything. I just pulled the dust sheet off and everything was still
So
clean.
clean. Oh, wow.
Yes. So
Uh,
it just felt to me, okay, thank you, Swami.
yes.
I know it might seem so insignificant, but to me, that was like,
Yeah.
wow, Swami had looked after
Looked
everything.
after, exactly.
Yes,
He looked after everything. Exactly.
everything there.
Thank you. And now that Swami has left his physical form, how do you ask Swami or speak to Swami when you're in doubt? How do you do that?
Well, I always think that even when Swami was physically here, how many people actually got to go and physically ask him? Because I stopped to think about that and I think if everybody was able to physically ask him, we'd still be in that queue all the way to Bangalore airport because we'd never get that opportunity if we think. So even when he was physically here,
Yeah.
we have to be thinking and asking ourselves from within.
Yeah.
So even when he's physically here, I don't think, I was fortunate enough a few times to have that opportunity to go into an interview and see him. But the fact that we didn't, all those hundreds of thousands of people there, not every single person got to physically speak to him.
How was your
So
interview? Like you got interview chance? How was your interview?
yes, it was. So one time I was lucky, fortunate enough to go in, and there was a group from the West Indies
Okay.
was in there. Myself and another lady was in there, and we sat down, and they were so animated. The group was so animated. They're so excited to be with Swami, and I think, oh gosh, just gonna stay seated and not like. And they kept telling him. They were so just kept telling Swami, 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 we do this, Swami, Swami. And they kept saying, Swami, Swami, we have bhajans every Thursday. We do bhajans every. He's trying to speak to somebody else. And they kept, and this brother kept saying, Swami, Swami, we do bhajans every Friday, every Thursday. Then he went, but you don't sing very well. And he laughed, looked at me and laughed and rolled his eyes. And he said, and they didn't still get it. They carried on laughing. And then he asked to take, in those days, they're allowed to take cameras inside.
Yeah, yeah.
So he asked me, he goes, can you take some pictures? So I got up and took pictures for them. And then he obviously said to them, now take a picture of myself. I've never seen this photo. I don't know where it is.
Oh yeah, because it's that thing, right? Role you don't. It's
Yes,
not an
and
instant.
I don't know who the group were. So I've
Oh,
never
you
seen
should
that
put it
photo.
out somewhere as a query. Oh
I
wow, you
should.
got a picture with Swami. You haven't seen how.
No.
Uh,
So there you go. There's a to see a physical picture, but you don't get to see it. I'm not sure. And I
mm.
always do wonder when I go and I think, I wonder if I'll ever bump into these people, but I don't know I can't remember what they look like.
Look like now exactly. Yeah, in so many years they would have changed. So thank you. Oh,
Yes,
wow, such a beautiful story. Yeah,
yes.
thank you.
And there was another time
Yeah.
I had an interview when we went with the group for M.A. Levy. So Emma, the late Emma Levy used to take groups from UK,
Okay.
used to take
Okay.
groups of 200 every year. MA Sandra used to take groups. So I was fortunate enough one year I went with MA and it was so lovely. It's such a relaxed group. Always, we'd go in groups of, once we get there, they put us into groups of 10 or 20. So
Mm.
you'd have different color scarves and we'd sit at different parts of the compound. And it was unfortunate, like my group, we'd always like, there'd be one day 18 would turn up, another day 17 would turn up, another day one person would go missing, another day 19 would turn up, never 20, the full house, never turn. The day that we had 20 turn up, Swami called us in.
Wow, Swami was waiting. See, wow, that's
Because
such a beautiful thing. Swami's always waiting, isn't he? Like,
exactly.
yeah.
And then we went in, and this lady sat on the gents' side. As he came in and shut the door and went, hey, you Britisher, the other side. He talked about this in that
Yeah.
sense. He moved her to sit on the other side. And I remember that he gave vibhuti to everybody and he materialized a ring for her. And this was the lady that was not turning up every day
Mm.
for the group for
Yeah.
darshan. And
Yeah.
then she
But
turned up on that day. So Swami is obviously waiting for her because
yeah.
he materialized a ring for her. And the first thing she asked, even without looking at it, she says, does it have Sai Baba on it?
Mm.
And he started laughing, goes, yes, yes, Sai Baba is on your ring. And Sai Baba is with you.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Did you ever ask any question in any
No,
of the interview?
no, I didn't. I think you're just sitting there, you're just in awe of what's going on.
Exactly. Yes.
And I
Yes.
think it's rude. I think unless he asks you, I always felt,
And what was
especially,
your first darshan? Like, because, many like me, I went through my childhood. I've been, going for darshan, but
yes,
although I've never got a very big darshan, it was close darshan a
yes,
lot. But for you, because you went as an adult, knowing that, Swami is Swami and all that, we discovered Swami later in my life, right? But so
yes.
how was your first ever darshan?
Oh my
First ever
gosh, my
darshan?
first ever darshan
What was
was,
the feeling?
wow. Well, it was my first ever darshan was my first ever trip to India as well.
Oh, okay. You've never
So
been to India before.
no,
Okay.
I've never been to India because I was born in the UK. I've never
Yeah.
been to India. So, and in those days, there was no direct flights to
Mm,
Bangalore,
mm,
and flights only went. 3 times a week from Mumbai Airport to Bangalore as well.
Okay. Okay.
Not daily or not hourly, unfortunately, 3 times a week. Can you imagine that now?
Yeah.
So we landed there and all our luggage hadn't arrived. So, and then in true typical fashion, they don't tell you. There's a group of people waiting round. They take their sign off and off they go, and you're chasing them down the road to saying what's going on. They said, well, your luggage is not arrived. So then they put you up one night in a hotel
Mm.
and your luggage still is. The next night, there's a group of us, so we end up having to sleep in a Monday the next night. Then the luggage arrives, and in that time they said there's no flights to Bangalore. Next available one is in 3 weeks'
Oh
time.
my God. Oh.
So then my brother managed to get train tickets. So we had a 26-hour train ride sitting on wooden seats from Bangalore to Bukkapatnam. From Bukkapatnam,
Wow.
we had to go in a horse and cart
Yes.
because there's no travel. We eventually got to Prashanti. And I remember that Swami asked one of the guys who was with us, because he got up and he asked him, how was your trip? How was your journey?
Wow.
So that was amazing at that time because it was near Christmas time. So
Okay.
to see Swami, because Swami used to walk around quite a lot, so that was wonderful to see.
That was the
That
first
was my
time.
first trip. Yeah, that was my first time, and that was the
So,
experience of getting to Puttaparthi.
and then having Swami darshan, it wipes away all the sufferings, right? Like
Yes,
what first
exactly.
darshan. Yeah.
And in those days, you sort of had the sheds as well, not
Yes.
like the sheds that we have now,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
not the wonderful sheds we have now, but in those days you had. So that was also part of the experience.
Experience. Yes. Yes.
So yes,
Yeah.
that was wonderful.
There is I don't know how much of Hindi do you know. There is there is a saying, in Hindi, or not. I don't know whether it's a saying from a sage or something, but it says, "कष्ट करने से ही कृष्ण मिलते हैं." Like if you go through this ordeals, then only you will have Krishna. Like you can see Krishna. So you have to go through these ordeals to reach Swami.
Exactly.
I think
Yes.
that's important, to go. Uh, and then finally, before we go to rapid fire, which is my favorite round, uh, what will be your advice to young adults today?
To young adults today, I would say never forget Swami, especially those that have come through Balvikas, being fortunate that parents brought them up. Never forget Swami. Remember, he's always there for you. Don't remember him at the time of a change of job, getting married, buying a new car, as they say, the stereotypical things. Always remember that Swami is always with you. You should always keep him with you because you never know whenever you need him. Don't just reach out to him when the going gets tough. Just remember him 24/7. That would be my
Absolutely,
message too.
absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful message. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now my favorite round, rapid fire. Whatever comes to your mind, you just answer, okay?
Oh, gosh.
It's quick answers, okay?
Okay.
What is one initiative that you wanted to start when you were national president, but you couldn't due to various reasons?
One initiative. I
That
think
you,
at the time,
Mhm.
at the time we was coming up to the 2012 Olympics, and
Yeah.
I wanted the organisation to get involved
Mm.
as volunteers, but I
Ah,
couldn't get
okay.
that up. I ended up volunteering myself personally at
Yeah.
the 2012 as a games leader, but I couldn't get the organisation. It's a shame because I did think that would have been a
Oh, that would have
fantastic.
been, that was a
Yes,
beautiful idea. I mean, that's a very good
yes.
idea as well. Yes, I think, thank you. Um, and what one thing from corporate culture you would like to bring to our SAI organization?
Gotcha. Wow. Well, it's interesting now in our workplace. They think about mindset and values. So we're seeing it the other way. So corporate culture, I think we're already following part of the corporate culture already. So I don't think there is anything
Yeah,
I would see anything coming across.
yeah, absolutely. And so, what is one teaching of Swami that you find it challenging to practice?
Um, I think sometimes let go, let God.
Let go, let God.
Let
Yes.
God. Yes.
Yes.
I think it gets to that point that you get agitated or you get wound up, and then eventually you think, I have to let it go. And when you let go,
Yeah.
he sorts it out for
And
you.
yeah, and also some Swami says like you take 1 step, I'll take 10 steps towards you. I don't even know where the 1 step should stop.
True. Very
I
true.
don't know where is the 1 step going to stop. Swami, are you going to tell me when I need to stop?
He will tell us. He'll find a way.
Yeah, I'm being silly. Sorry.
No,
Mm,
that's
yeah.
okay.
What would you advise younger Shobna today? You are younger, by the way, younger
Oh my
Shobna.
gosh, younger Shobna.
Yeah.
Gosh, what would I advise? Stay involved, keep doing the work, promote Swami. I think Swami's message more without having to put the orange flag out, but so
Mm,
you can talk about the spiritual leader that we have and how much he has achieved around the
yeah.
world. So I would say I would encourage the youth to get more involved and continue with how we used to be as a, and we still are a vibrant organization, but how so many people used to be involved in the early years when I first joined. And I think it's a shame that as everybody grows, people seem to sort of like move away, and it's a shame that people don't stick together. That's what I would think about how we stick together.
Yes. Thank you. And finally, what is your favorite bhajan?
Oh my gosh. There are so many. It's funny because my mom every morning I put the Vedam and bhajans on, and they just had a different style of bhajans on this morning. I think which one. There's too many. I
No,
don't,
whichever comes to your mind right now, whichever first one that comes to your mind. I know we all have a set of bhajans which are our
yeah,
favorites, not one, right? So
yes,
whichever, or maybe let's make it easier for you. Which one sung by Swami is your favorite bhajan?
advice mom. Prema Mudit Manasakaho.
Okay, now you have to sing few words,
No,
few
oh
sentences.
God.
We are all singing for Swami, right? Nobody is a singer, so and we'll close it after that.
Okay. Prema Mudita Manasakaho Rama Rama Ram Rama Rama Ram Rama Rama Ram Sri Rama Rama Ram.
Thank you. That was lovely. Thank you so
Thank
much, Shobna
you.
Sairam.
Thank you,
And
Sarah.
you have to believe when I say you've been inspiration to a lot of young girls, and hope they all watch
Oh God.
and they empower themselves to come and take leadership roles in organization. We really want to see more women leaders in organization as well.
I'm sure with Swami's blessings there will be. And thank you for taking on the role as
Thank you
a
so much.
national president in France as well.
Uh,
That's
But
brilliant.
it's
Thank
it's
you.
one it's 1/10 of the UK president role.
But still, it's a start. As Swami
Yes,
says, take one step towards him and he'll
yes,
bring
baby
the 100
steps.
towards
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
So we'll
Thank you.
keep watching France, Saira. Thank you.
Sairam, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Shobna.
Saira.
Sairam.
Saira.